Hello, this is Manuela, your guide and light. And this YouTube video is how to get your out of karmic cycle. So you might need to watch my YouTube video understanding the karmic agreements and karmic debts before you actually watch this one. In order to understand fully this one, you might have to watch that one first. So what is the karmic cycle? Karmic cycle is when the negative or bad debts going back and forth, when they're constantly exchanging. So we know that by the law of karma, everything that you send out, it has to come back to you. So some people can balance the karma. You can balance the karma if you understand that somebody done wrong to you because you already done wrong to them, and then you stop. You don't send that back anymore. You don't do wrong. You actually work really hard on forgiving. Not everybody understands that. Not everybody can see that. So they keep attacking again and again. And the energy of bad karmic debts goes back and forth. And this can go for lifetimes, many lifetimes. So if you don't balance the karma in this lifetime, you're coming back in the next lifetime and you do it again. And the energy goes back again. So when you get stuck in that karmic cycle, it's really important to understand that there's only one way to get out, is to forgive and not to attack. So how can you get into this karmic cycle? You can get into karmic cycle by with people that you're having really big disagreements, that you disagree constantly, or that you're arguing a lot, that you're attacking a lot, that you're competing constantly. So this sort of situation can get you stuck in a karmic cycle because the energy keeps going back and forth of these negative, bad karmic debts. And you can't sort of stop them. So there's a specific time or specific amount of bad karmic debts that you can allow to stay on your soul plan and not to have to react to it. So for example, you can put up with somebody for some time and try to ignore what that person is doing to you and try to be good. And this is very often happens in a romantic relationship or in a marriage. When one person really tolerates a lot, you can tolerate a lot, but then the time comes when you just can't tolerate anymore. What that means that on your soul plan, too many bad karmic debt you attracted, they done too much bad to you, and the soul gets squashed. You can't sort of move forward in your life, so you have to sort of hit back. You have to defend yourself. You have to stand up for yourself, and that's when you get stuck in a karmic cycle. So this is the reason why we would like to help you how you can actually get yourself out of this. So you have to understand that you can't get somebody else out of the karmic cycle. You can only get yourself out of the karmic cycle. So if you're in this situation, you can't work on somebody else and hope that that person gonna stop. So basically you can't change others. You can't make them stop. You can only stop yourself. So the way we can describe this is that we all have dark side, which is the ego part of us, that serves us to defend ourselves when we really need it, because we are on earth and we will attract negativity. So it serves us to defend ourselves when we truly need it. When we can go through life and the bad things that the other people do to us does not affect us, then we don't have to defend ourselves. But when it starts really affecting us, then we have to defend ourselves and fight back. Is this some, like for example in a war? People have guns, they don't have to use them unless they get attacked. But if somebody shoots you, you'll have to shoot back. Or for example, if somebody attacks you and somebody punches you, and you're feeling strong and good, and that punch doesn't really affect you much, you can just forgive and say it's okay. But if somebody really punches you a lot, throws 10 punches at you and knocks you on the ground, well, you have to get up and fight back. So this is how we can describe this negative side of ourselves that everybody has, every human being has. And this is how the bad karmic debts as well work. So you have to sometimes defend yourself, and you will feel that need. When you feel that need to do it, that means you can't handle it anymore. It's too much for you. And it depends how strong you are and how much you can take. So again, you can't really focus on them. All attention has to be on you. First, you have to recognize that you are stuck in a karmic cycle. You have to see that the energy goes back and forth. And to get into some karmic cycle, it can take years. And to get out of it, it can take years. Now, when you realize that you're stuck in a karmic cycle with somebody, you're gonna start working on it, and it will take you a few years to get out of it, because it's a very challenging energy. This is the most challenging energy. This is where people get stuck for 10, 15, 20 years, and they don't understand it. So the way to really get out of it is forgiveness and to release negative emotions, because the reason why they can knock you off, because you build up too much negative emotions. You're building up anger, you're building up pain, emotional pain, you're building up resentment, fear. All that makes you very vulnerable and very weak. So when they throw punches at you, you fall down straight away. And this is where universe allows you, and your guides allows you to use your dark side and to fight back. But you have to understand that when you do that, there's a very good chance you will get stuck in a karmic cycle, because somebody that's attacking you will attack back again. You can't hope and pray that they're going to stop, because they won't. You only have to focus on yourself. So what you're going to do, you understand that when you fight back, you're creating more bad karmic debts towards them. That means they will fight back again. So the key is to really reduce of how much you're sending back. So sending back less and less every time. Say, for example, take 1 or 2 punches and hit back every third punch. And then start taking more and more. Take 4 and 5 punches and hit back every 6th punch. So when you start doing that, you start to release your negative emotions, which help you to become stronger so you can take more. And then when you feel that you can't really handle it anymore, you do fight back, but you keep yourself in check and say to yourself, okay, well, today I'm going to do this. I'm going to stand up for myself. I'm going to fight back. But then I'm going to take again time and work on releasing negative emotions and forgiving. So the more of that you do, the less of bad karmic debts you will create. And more you will be able to sort of draw yourself out the karmic debt or karmic cycle, because you're not going to create more karmic debts. You're going to become much stronger, and you're forgiving. Eventually you will come to that stage where what other is doing to you, it's not going to bother you anymore at all, and it's not going to affect you. And then you'll be able to move forward, because you forgave, you release the negative emotions, and you feel stronger. And that is the key, to make yourself stronger. The law of karma teaches us that everything we send out, it comes back to us. And it means that if we can attack, we can receive as well. We are meant to be able to receive as well. That is the law of karma that's teaching us. If you are sending punches out, you should be able to receive them as well. So again, remembering that when somebody does attack you, understand that on some level, in some time, maybe it's not this lifetime, but maybe past life, you attracted this. You done something wrong to somebody else. Instead of saying, look what they're doing to me. How could they do this to me? Why are they doing this to me? You say to yourself, okay, I understand that in some time on a soul journey, I done wrong somewhere to somebody. And this is the reason why it is coming back to me. So I'm going to try to forgive and release negative emotions so I don't have to fight. And only when you really do feel really bad, and you feel that you can't move forward, you do fight. And again, remind yourself again that you're going to go back and release your negative emotions and forgive so you can move forward. And if you get into that pattern, you will see that you slowly will start getting out of your karmic cycle. And you'll be able to move forward and leave the situation. Not just for this lifetime, but for next lifetime as well. That means you complete with those souls the lessons that they're teaching you. And there could be many lessons. The major lesson that everybody that is stuck in a karmic cycle, sometimes it can be a group of people that is stuck in a karmic cycle. When there's a challenge, when there's a lot of or argument in a family or argument with friends, where there's big situation where a lot of people are involved, that means they all stuck in a karmic cycle. Whoever is attacking you and you are attacking them back, you get stuck in a karmic cycle with them. They are stuck in a karmic cycle with you. So the only way to live is to get into pattern when you don't react to everything they do, when you react less and less, when you give punches out less and less, and you receive more. You allow them to do it to you and say to yourself, okay, I don't have to react this time. I can handle it today. I feel really good today, so I'm going to handle it, and I'm going to just release negative emotion and forgive. Everybody that sort of attract this situation gets into the pattern where they constantly attack and send the negative energy back. So this is quite natural. Everybody will get in that pattern. And now we want to change the pattern. The way to get out of it is to change the pattern, to react less and less, to send back negative debt less and less, and to say you can handle it. It doesn't affect you that much anymore. So when you get to that, you have to understand that the reason why you and this other person or people attracted this, because you all wanted to learn. There's many lessons that you're learning here. Many lessons can be learned here from this type of situation. And the major is about love karma. That's where you really learn about love karma, when you attract this type of situation. So you have to understand that you both really agreed on this. You all really agreed on this. You all choose the situation so you can evolve. And majority of souls after this situation enter into fifth dimension. So because all souls are meant to enter in fifth dimension, all souls are meant to go through this time of real negativity where they can get stuck in a karmic cycle. And this is where we're talking about the corridor between third dimension and fifth dimension. So souls that are entering from third dimension to fifth dimension, passing through this corridor, which is the fourth dimensions, this dark corridor. So you got doors of third dimension and doors of fifth dimension, and then you this dark corridor, which is the fourth dimension, which not many people mentioning, but that's when a lot of souls get stuck, because dealing with darkness, shredding the ego fully. And this is where majority of soul get stuck in a karmic cycle. So you have to understand that this is not just happening to you. It's quite common. It happens to a lot of souls. Majority of souls gone through it, and that you can actually get out of it. There is a chance that you might not. There's always a chance that you might not. If you can't understand that this is what's happening, and you're analyzing from your mind, and you're blaming others for whatever is happening to you, and you keep hitting back, well, in that case, you have to exit the earth. The only way to stop the karmic cycle is to exit the earth. So these are two ways to stop the karmic cycle, to break the karmic cycle. It's to exit the earth, which means you might attract illness or death or accident, just to exit the earth and then start fresh again in the next lifetime. A lot of people commit suicide in this type of situations as well. So that means they can't balance or exit the karmic cycle on earth. They don't know how, they don't have the knowledge, and they have to exit the earth. So in order and we hope that that's not happen to too many souls, that a majority of souls will be able to understand the law of karma and work on reducing their karmic debts and receiving more basically of bad karmic debts and be able to handle them and to actually exit the karmic cycle. So that is the only way to exit the karmic cycle. So what you're really learning here is your thoughts, how much positive you're thinking, how much you can navigate your thoughts and be aware of your thoughts, how much you can actually understand your emotions, understanding your emotions, understanding what you're carrying in. A lot of people bottle it down and they think they're okay, they forgive, that's all fine, but then somebody gets attacked and then they attack again. So being aware of your emotions and understanding how to release emotions, and you can do this through meditation, through writing down your emotions on a paper and then burning, dissolving the energy by writing down how you're feeling, and also writing down to this person, everything that you want to say to them, all these angry words that you want to say, writing them on a piece of paper and then dissolving the energy, because when you write the energy, your energy from your body goes on a piece of paper. So by burning that paper, you're dissolving the energy fully. So that is another way that you can do. Meditation, where you do deep meditation when you actually work on releasing emotions, which means your meditation needs to be minimum 15-20 minutes. Longer than that would be really great, and the longer the better. But minimum 15-20 minutes. In that time, you can release some negative emotions, which means you will always start with very deep breathings, where you breathe deep in white light, healing light, white divine healing light, and you hold for a couple of seconds, allow that light to expand through all your body, and then you will breathe out all your anger, fear, resentment, whatever you feel that you're feeling, and visualize that negative emotion coming out of your mouth through your breath as any darkness, or as a dark words, as a words of fear or anger or resentment. See it, just really releasing it. And call your angels, your spiritual team, archangels and ascended masters to be with you when you're doing this, because they love to assist you with this, and they do help your body to release easier, and they infuse all your negative emotions with light as well, so you can get help from them. When you are in this type of situation in a karmic cycle, you need everything. Not just one thing will work. This is a really hard work. This is where you must learn about forgiveness. You must release negative emotions through writing, through meditation. You must understand yourself, where you're heading and how you're feeling all the time. See how strong you are. Are you building your strengths? Are you getting weaker? Are you getting stronger? Getting help from everywhere. Talking to somebody about it will help as well. Just be very careful, because you have to understand that everything you do can create more negative or bad karmic debts. When you're going to talk to somebody, anybody, either it's a friend or a counselor, anybody, any professional, whenever you're talking about what others doing to you, you're actually creating more bad karmic debts. So it might not really help you. It's easier and better to write it down on a paper and then burn it, because that way you're dissolving that energy. You're not actually attacking that person or sending towards them, because when you speak those words, they actually have to go. They have to go towards that person. When you put it on a paper and you burned it, then the energy is dissolved. It doesn't really go to the other person. So again, be very careful how much you talk about this person. A lot of people like to talk about this problem a lot, but that creates the problem bigger, because you're building up more negative energy. You're building up more negative debts. So just be really mindful of that. It's better to release your negative emotions, to do something physically, even if you need to use a punching bag or these really, really deep exercises just to release the negative emotions from your body. That could help you as well. So also you can combine the crystals. Crystals are really good help. And one wonderful crystal that it's especially for this type of situation, it's oconite, and we're going to show you this. It's from the Crystal Bible. Crystal can help as well. They need to be really in contact with your skin. You can keep it in a pocket, but the best they work when it's contact with the skin. So you can maybe hold it even in your hands when you're meditating. That would be really great, because the energy helps your body to release easier negative emotion and dissolve them, bring them on the surface so you can recognize them and understand them. Again, remember, you can't just use the crystal. Only the crystal, putting in your pocket and holding the crystal in your hands, it's not going to help you. You have to combine everything. You have to basically do everything. Crystal helps a little bit, writing helps a little bit, meditation helps a little bit. Also, if you can have healing, hands-on healing, even a massage can help release those negative emotions from your muscles, because sometimes when the negative emotions stays for very long in your body, it gets inside your muscles. It gets stuck in your muscles. So having a really deep massage can actually help to that emotions to be released from muscle and be on the surface. And then if you have a Reiki or energy healing, Reiki will actually just pull that emotion easier out. So having a treatment of massage and Reiki, it's really good. It can help you a lot. Reiki also will pull out all your negative emotion. That's a help that universe sent to us to speed up the process of healing, especially in this situation when you're stuck in a karmic cycle, because it is a really long process of changes and learning, and you need extra help here. So doing all this and being aware that you attracted a situation, nobody's doing this to you. Everybody is doing this for you. They're your teachers to help you learn and grow. And that sort of way of looking at makes you feel much more at ease than when you're looking at why are they doing this to me and why they are attacking to me, how are they destroying your love, how are they doing this to you, and you can't do this because of them and you can't do that because of them. That sort of keeps you much deeper stuck in a karmic cycle. If you look at it as that they're doing this all for you, helping you to release negative emotions, to forgive, because you definitely holding this unforgiveness for more lifetimes. If you are stuck with somebody in a karmic cycle, and these are the people that you really can't forgive, that you're struggling, that these arguments and negative emotions constantly grow and grow and grow, and you can't make peace with them, and you can't sort of have a good relationship with them. So these are the souls that you didn't build up all this just in this lifetime. Definitely not. You definitely bring in this from past lifetime. It could be one lifetime, could be even 5, 6 lifetimes that you're dealing with these souls this time. That is so much of unforgiveness that you can't forgive. So just remember that. It definitely didn't happen in this lifetime. It happened much back in past lifetimes. Also, when you really feel that something is really wrong and you're struggling with somebody, would be very good if you go into past life meditation. When you go into past life regression or past life meditation, you can actually experience exactly what this person done to you or what you done to them, and where is this problem coming from. Now, to go into past life regression meditation, you must be very experienced. You can't just start meditating now and not have full understanding of meditation and decide to go into past life meditation. It's not going to work like that. You won't be able to do it, and your ego might trick you and make you believe that you are in past life meditation, but you're not. So you need to meditate at least for good 6 to 8 months every day to really practice it, to go into deeper state. So every time when you're in a theta state, you go into your subconsciousness. That's when you're really connecting to your soul plan, and you need to stay there for a little bit longer. to go into past life meditation, you need to stay there for longer. So it's really important to practice meditation for quite some time before you do that, and understand fully everything about meditation before you actually decide to go into past life regression or past life meditation. So past life regression is where you actually, when somebody else takes you into that meditation and takes you through it, guide you to actually forgive to that person in that time. And this is very good. So it's not just meditation. When you're going just in meditation just to see what happens, you don't actually forgive there. You only get the information. So you know exactly what happened. But we call it regression, is when you go in a deep meditation, guided meditation, where you actually are taken through forgiveness, where you actually forgive to that person and you release the negativity there in that time. So basically taking you back in that time, in a past life, wherever that happens, and you see again everything that happened, but you also stay there and you work on forgiving to that person and releasing negative emotions there. So that's the difference between past life regression and just going into past life meditation. So past life meditation, you can just have the music and just say to your guardian angels, your spiritual team, that you want to see what happens to this, what happened with this person in the past life, why I can't forgive, why I can't stand this person, why we can't have good relationship. And then they will show you. They will show you really what happened. So you will see exactly and feel everything that happened. So you will experience that again. But you will not do any work there. And then once you have the information, when you come back from that meditation, you can write it down or you can just memorize it and see, okay, I have an understanding of it, and try not to judge. It would be really good if you can try not to judge. You might get first angry and think, oh my God, how could I do that to me? But I would say, from my experience, if you get angry when you come back from meditation, immediately you get angry and you actually can't forgive to that person, your ego jumped in. That means your ego jumped in. So just remember, ego likes to keep you angry. So it would be the best if you try just to understand that you accept that you made mistake and that person made mistake to you. And again, remind yourself that they are teachers. Soon as you look at that way, remember they are teachers, what you're learning from them, focus on what you're learning from them. Even if you start analyzing, try to analyze, okay, what am I learning from this? How am I going to actually get through this? How am I going to work on this? This type of question, invite your spiritual team. But when you look at, oh my God, how could I do this to me? Look what they've done to me. Your ego jumps in straight away. So try to keep yourself connected to your spiritual team, and when you receive the message, when you've seen what happened, and you might even cry because it can be quite sad, and just really go more with those questions. Okay, so I have understanding now. How can I work on this? How can I forgive this? And then your ego is still out, and your angels and your spirit guides immediately come to assist you, and you might start receiving information on how you can actually work on this. So that is the way to pull yourself out of the karmic cycle. And you will have times when you're doing really great and you see that you can actually move forward, and you'll have times when you are pulled back again. Remember, it's your ego that wants to keep you stuck in a karmic cycle, because the ego, like darkness, ego wants everybody, all souls, to be in a darkness, on its side, basically. Ego wants you on his side. Your soul wants you on a light. So try to stick to your spiritual team guidance. And whenever you see the ego jumps in, which always will, it will test you. It will always test you. Even when you think you're done, You're feeling great, you're feeling strong, you forgive. There's always going to be a little test. Universe is always going to send somebody to test you, to say something, to see, will it trigger something. So remember, it's always going to be there. So just keep your thoughts on teacher, on learning and understanding that everybody's your teacher and you choose this. So that way. And be patient. Patience is very important here. Very important. Extra patience. This is not just patience, this is extra patience. Because you will need years to get out of this. Because the energy builds up so much and there's so much on your soul plan, it's going to take years to clear all that from your soul path and to actually clear all the energy and negative emotions so you can actually move forward. But that is the only way. There is not the other way that you can get out of yourself from karmic cycle, not by fighting and not by manipulation, not by controlling. Definitely not by controlling others. You cannot get out from karmic cycle by controlling others and wanting somebody else to make decisions so you can move forward and live better. That only keeps you stuck more, further, deeper into karmic cycle. The only focusing on yourself, understanding you can only get yourself out of it by focusing on yourself and forgiving yourself. And take those punches. Let somebody do bad to you and bless them and say thank you. That is the key. When you come to the stage when you can always do that, when you actually see them doing bad to you and saying, okay, but I attracted this. Somewhere in some lifetime I attracted this. And I thank you for giving this back to me. Because remember, your soul wants to be free from that. Your soul wants to pay the debts back. Your soul wants to allow anybody else to do bad things to you. Because that's the way you're creating good karmic debts. You create blessing. When you do that, when you actually can allow others to give you the karmic debt back, bad karmic debt back, when you allow it, when you know that it's come back to you and you say, it's okay, I understand. They done this because I done this somewhere. Or I done this yesterday and now today it's coming back to me. And it's okay, I'm just going to leave it. You receive blessings from God. And once you actually get out of this karmic cycle with forgiveness, you can live amazing, blessed life. That's when you're entering in a fifth dimension. So it's really big when you can do that. So we hope that this information can help you. And we're sending you lots of love and light. And I will see you next time, hopefully with more information that can help you to move forward and enter into fifth dimension quicker. Bye-bye for now.